Yeah, it was nice. It was upstairs.
Really?
It was the 420
They got
club.
comedy at the.
Yeah,
Really?
yeah. It's Saturdays, and it started at midnight, and it's over at 4. Sundays. Is it Sundays?
That's Sunday.
It's Sundays? Man, I work so fucking much, man. My days just run together. It's Sundays, yeah.
That's how
Okay.
people find it, though.
It's Saturday night.
It's Saturday night until Sunday. Yeah. Yeah. Don't fuck with me when I'm drinking. God damn it, man. Fuck. I knew I should have just smoked the weed and that was it, but I had to drink too. And the shit just don't mix with me, man. It doesn't. It just don't mix. Don't give me that face. Anyway, next coming up is a brother I met at a strip club with titties in my face and comedy and smoking weed. Give it up for Warhol Kaufman. Wait. Okay, I didn't hear you saying it in. Okay, cool. Calling me back?
Can you get some music? The good thing about white supremacists is at least they're white. So they got that going for them, you know. I used to live in Portland. That town is too white, it makes my teeth look bad. For a while, I was in West Oakland. They found a human head in the recycling plant 2 blocks from my house, which is messed up because that's compostable. San Francisco's cool though. You can find whatever you're looking for on the street, especially if you're looking for human feces. It's hard to find a job though. I applied so many places. I applied everywhere. I actually tried to apply to the Ku Klux Klan, but I couldn't fit my resume on one sheet. I'm surprised the Klan hasn't ruined bed sheets and pillowcases for everybody, you know? It did for me for a long time. I slept in a white woman. I know if you heard, there's a lot of young black men getting shot while handcuffed in the back of cop cars, you know? It just makes me wonder, like, do police not watch Tarantino films? That's a lot of cleanup. I heard about Keith Tharp. Keith Tharp is on death row, but he's appealing his sentence because he said one of the jurors on his trial was racist. I don't know about that, like, if we get rid of racist jurors, you know, what's next? Like, racist cops, lawyers, judges, and politicians. Like, let's not get crazy. Jared Fogel's in prison. He's appealing his conviction. He says he raped those kids on a technicality. Let me out. You already know about Bill Cosby. Bill Cosby went on trial for drugging 60 women. But in his defense, they weren't supposed to remember. I think it's ironic that Trump's son is barren when we all wish his mother was. And like, you could tell he raped somebody, but it's like it doesn't count because he wasn't wearing a sombrero. I heard Trump eats McDonald's every day to avoid getting poisoned. I think he just looks at Donald on the food and it makes him happy. Like, Trump might think he owns McDonald's actually. I was on Telegraph. I don't know if you've ever been to the Store Club. The Store Club's owned by a pedophile. It's true. It's messed up because storks bring the babies, you know? He's a terrible bartender. I'm sure he's a great pedophile. Like, they really know what to do with the Shirley Temple, you know? You guys, Shirley Temple's been dead for a long time. Can we start putting alcohol in her drink now, please? I recently realized I should stop calling my brother a motherfucker. I think Nickelodeon is responsible for my bukkake fetish. You can't do that on television. You guys, are the Nazis okay? Has anybody heard if the Nazis are doing? I was a little worried about them. I couldn't believe it. Like, I heard they were having a march. I was like, I hope I didn't miss the Nazi march by like 80 years. Like, black actors never get to play Nazis. That's racism. I got a lot of questions. How come there's so many German shepherds and so few Jew shepherds? Do Nazis like World War II films? Or does knowing the ending make it not as fun? Like, whatever happened to the other two Reichs? I know the third one ended badly, but the first one must have been pretty good, right? Because like, you don't make a sequel unless the first. Like, Hitler really ruined that mustache for everybody, didn't he? I know he did a bad thing, but I think we can all agree it's best that he stopped painting those awful paintings. I got a lot of Hitler jokes. Did Hitler have mimosas at his brunch? No, because he killed the Jews, you know. My grandmother actually had a friend named Adolf. I'm pretty sure he fought in World War II. I asked her, she was like, yes, he did. At a certain point in college, I realized that my grandmother was in D.C. for the entire civil rights movement. Next time I saw her, I had to ask, like, Grandma, what was it like? You were there for the March on Washington? You were there for the I Have a Dream speech? What was it like? My grandmother was like, oh, your grandfather, he wasn't interested in all that stuff. One time I was home, I was thinking about, like, Maryland and Virginia for some reason have a feud, I guess, but Virginia was named for the Virgin Queen. That's a weird way to name a place. Like, what if she was in a butt stuff? Annapolis is for lovers. One time I was home, I went to the Holocaust Museum. There was no one there. I was walking around, I saw all the shoes. I saw this child-size and adult-size uniform from Auschwitz. You're not supposed to touch it, but I reached through and it was rough canvas, something coursed through me. I wept like a grieving widow. And then I found a Pikachu. I don't know if you guys heard, recently science told us that there's human DNA in hot dogs. Some people defended hot dogs. They were like, that doesn't mean hot dogs are made out of people. They could just have semen in them.
Warhol, kaufman, ladies and